Students, what's the most insane way you've accidentally taken the wrong medication? It was 7:15 a.m. on exam day, and I was sprinting around my kitchen like a disaster waiting to happen. I had 43 minutes until the most important chemistry test of my life, a splitting headache and 0 brain cells functioning. I grabbed 2 pills from the cabinet, tossed them back without looking, and ran out the door with half my backpack unzipped. By the time my mom dropped me at school, the headache was fading. I actually felt good, prepared even. I'd studied for weeks, and for once, I thought I might actually crush one of Mr. Peterson's tests. He's the kind of teacher who treats chemistry like it's the only subject that matters in the universe. Fail him, and you might as well give up on college. But halfway through first period English, something started to feel off. My eyelids weighed about 50 pounds each. Every sentence of class discussion blurred together. Mrs. Chen kept shooting me looks like she thought I was on something, and in a way I was. By the time chemistry rolled around, I was basically a zombie. That's when I realized the bottle I'd grabbed that morning wasn't red like my headache pills. It was purple. Purple meant melatonin, the stuff I usually take to knock myself out at night. I had literally roofied myself before an exam. Mr. Peterson started handing out tests, and I was swaying in my seat like I'd just done a keg stand in the parking lot. I raised my hand, explained in the most pathetic whisper that I'd accidentally taken melatonin, and was fighting to stay conscious. Instead of sympathy, Peterson launched into a 5-minute sermon about creative excuses and personal responsibility. He actually turned my meltdown into a motivational speech for the entire class. Everyone stared at me like I was a criminal mastermind instead of a kid fighting off drug-induced hibernation. That's when I made a decision. If this man thought I was lying, fine. I'd finish this test while basically unconscious and still crush it. So I powered through. Every question felt like climbing Everest with a weighted blanket tied to my head. My hand was shaking, my vision kept blurring, and I'm pretty sure I drooled on the answer sheet more than once. But I answered every single problem. Balancing equations, naming compounds, drawing mechanisms, like my GPA depended on it, because it did. The second I handed it in, I collapsed on my desk. Peterson gave me a glare like he thought I was staging a performance, then actually called my parents later that afternoon to report I had fallen asleep during an important assessment and was showing concerning disrespect for academic standards. My parents were furious. I didn't even bother defending myself. I knew in my gut that despite the melatonin brain fog, I'd nailed that test. A week later, Peterson walked into class holding a stack of graded exams. He started reading off scores, saving the top marks for last like he was announcing Olympic medals. When he finally got to number 1, he paused, frowned at the paper, and reluctantly read my name, 98%, highest grade in the class. The only thing I'd missed was a single calculation error. Everyone else bombed, and I had basically destroyed them while half asleep and chemically sedated. Peterson's face went through a slideshow of emotions, confusion, denial, and finally the dawning realization that the kid he accused of faking excuses had just demolished his exam while fighting off a prescription-strength nap. I looked him dead in the eye, cracked the slowest grin of my life, and thought, sometimes the sweetest revenge is passing chemistry while you're practically unconscious.